going on, everybody? It's Matt with Hitmen Sports Breaks. We're back with episode number 4 of our podcast. I want to introduce you again to Sean.
Hey, what's going on?
And Tommy.
How's it going today? So last week we did some more Donruss. It was definitely a really fun week. Pulled a Dan Marino downtown. Definitely had a lot of fun pulls out of Donruss so far. This week we were doing a little bit of Certified in Origins, doing a dual case break, broke it down into 8-box breaks. Have that all posted on Whatnot, starting that on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Going to go live. Definitely should be a lot of fun. Then we're going to have another Donruss break probably this weekend. And then, guys, don't make sure you go and bookmark our stream on 12/19 for a giveaway stream.
Yep, that's going to be another good one. So exactly 1 week from today, starting at 2 o'clock, basically right at the end of the podcast time here, we will go live on Whatnot with the giveaway stream, so you don't want to miss out on that one. So next up here, we'll talk about the new releases for this week. So, of course, today, the biggest release everybody's looking for every year in baseball, a Bowman draft. And this year, it's really insane because you got the Tom Brady first Bowmans in there that are, I mean, you can just look up on eBay what they're selling for, the few that have been pulled already. You got a $500,000 bounty out there for the number 12 out of 50 card, so it's just a ridiculous product. Another new baseball release coming out this week is Topps Chrome Black. We will have case breaks of that ending on eBay starting Sunday night, and we're going to do 3 of them next week. So from Sunday through Thursday, we'll have 3 of them. So just those auctions already up there, so if you want to check that out and get some bids on it. And before that, this week we have Inception Baseball. We'll be doing another break of that. Auctions will be ending tomorrow night, Wednesday night on eBay, and we'll break that Thursday morning live on YouTube. So far Inception's been absolutely insane for us, so if you want to check that out again, it's a fun break, nice little quick break. And yeah, hopefully we can see you for that one, guys. So that's the new releases and the breaks for eBay for this week. And now we'll go into our next segment, the football picks and from last week, and we'll give you our predictions for this week and see what the hell happens with that.
All right, so last week I went 3-2. Tommy got on the plus side of things and went 3-2, and Matt was on the negative side of things at 2-3. So as the season stands, the leader right now is myself at 9-6, followed by Matt at 8-7, and Tommy takes the rear at 6-9. So, going into this week, we're going to start with Pittsburgh at Indianapolis. Well, we already know what I said last week. That carries on to this week. The Colts don't have the best home record, but I would trust Minshew over Trubisky any day. And I think the Colts are going to win this one. I just don't think the Steelers have enough offense. That was evident against the Patriots last week. I think the Colts will do just enough to score more in this low-scoring game. Kind of see a 17-13 kind of game. But I think Indianapolis is going to pull the win out in that one. What about you, Tommy?
Yeah, I think it'll be close. I think that T.J. Watt and Highsmith get hurt last week, so they're not exactly
concussion protocol. So.
Yeah, so they're not exactly healthy. Going into the matchup, if they were totally healthy, I'd probably be swaying the other way. But with the way the Colts offense has been playing, I think they just put up more points than the Steelers at the end of the day. So I pretty much agree with exactly what Sean said.
So obviously I'm going to take the Steelers for the only reason. Well, there's a few reasons for that, but the main one is just because I'm not going to pick against them, but also. As banged up as we are and as shitty as they have looked recently for whatever reason, I mean, me and Sean are going to be at this game in Indianapolis, so look for us in the stands. But how many times have we been to these games, and for whatever reason, the Steelers just always beat the Colts? I don't know what it is. That really has nothing to do with this year, but it just seems like every time they beat them. I don't know why.
Yeah, since Peyton Manning, I don't think the Colts have beaten.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it's not even, well, no, typically, I mean, we had a better team, obviously, but except for the last few years, but I don't know. That's the only thing I'm going with. I'm hoping that Trubisky will be a little bit better in his second week as a start and won't pull an Uncle Rico at the end of the game and throw the football over the mountain when he needs 2 yards. So I'm gonna take the Steelers in a low scoring game and maybe we'll just say 13-10, something like that. So next game is going to be Denver-Detroit. This is in Detroit, so for that reason and that reason alone, I'm going to take the Lions. I don't think that they're going to have back-to-back losses. They lost this week, so I really think that they're looking to get that seeding position in the NFC, although they're not in my opinion, are not really going to be able to compete with the Cowboys or the 49ers at this moment in time. But if they keep winning, they could, get the number 1 seed because you just never know. So I'm going to take Detroit on that one. And what do you think, Sean?
I'm going to go with Denver in that one. I think their defense has been, I believe, the best in football the last few weeks. And I think it's going to continue this week. I'm not sold on Detroit. I think Denver's defense will do enough to win that game. And I believe Wilson can get them to 21, 24 points. I think their defense is going to shut down Jared Goff. And, yeah, I think Denver's just on a run right now, and I think they edge it out like a 21-17 kind of game.
Yeah, this was a tough matchup for me, and it's exactly what Sean said. I think that Denver's defense is on fire. But honestly, so far in the year, I have bet against Detroit too many times, and I'm not doing it this time. It's at Detroit, and that's the only reason I'm going to take Detroit here. I think that offense has a chance to step up in every game because they are pretty loaded, and they're young, so it's just like, as fresh as they can be. It seems like it's going to be a good matchup, but I'm going to go Detroit there. Next matchup that we have is Baltimore at Jacksonville. Definitely a huge matchup. Has a lot of implications as far as the first seed goes. Jacksonville has a little bit softer of a schedule right after us, but this is pretty much their last mark. So if they win this game, they'll be pretty much more set up, and they have a better division record than the Ravens. So I do think the Ravens pull this one out. I think Lamar's on a little bit of a better streak recently. He looks to be playing well and looks to be reading defenses at a more consistent level. So I think they take this game in a pretty high-scoring match. Last week, T-Law came out, scores 3 touchdowns with a high ankle sprain. Probably one of the more impressive things you really hear about. You hear about high ankle sprains either 0 or 4 weeks, and it's because it's pain tolerance. That's what it comes down to. So the fact that he goes out there, throws 3 touchdowns in a loss, should be a good game.
All right, so next up on the list, I'm sorry, let me give you my pick for this one first. So for the Ravens and the Jaguars, I will be the lone one, I think, I'm going to guess, go out on a limb here, picking the Jaguars. I'm going to take them because it's at home. I think they need the win. I don't think they're going to lose 3 in a row. But, I mean, it's going to really come down to, like you were saying about Lawrence and his ability to play. I think he showed he can do it in that game. The only thing that scares me in that game is the Ravens' defense has played a lot better the last few weeks. Not that it was really bad to begin with, but I'm just saying they really seem to have stepped up in the last few weeks. So, with that being said, I will take the Jaguars at home, and I'm going to say 24-21 on that
one. I was really back and forth on this game. This is probably the one I thought about the most, and I have a hard time thinking Jacksonville loses 3 in a row, especially with the push for the playoffs and the division on the line. If they lose and Indy and Houston win, you're going to have a 3-way tie at the top of that division, with Jacksonville holding the edge just because of head-to-head wins within the division. But I went with Baltimore. Mainly because I want Jacksonville to lose. But I think I believe they're the better team. If these two teams played 10 times, I think Baltimore probably come out 6-4. But I'm going to go with Baltimore. I think they're going to win it. Next one, Dallas at Buffalo. Well, we all know I rode the Buffalo train by myself last week, and I'm going to go with Buffalo again this week. I know Dallas got the big win over the Eagles, but this is in Buffalo. They could have some shitty weather. I don't know what the weather's going to be yet there this week, but I don't trust Dak on the road in Buffalo. I think Buffalo found their swagger. That coordinator is letting Allen be himself. They're trying to control him early on in the season, and we saw what happened there. Well, this new offensive coordinator is letting Allen be Allen, and he went to Kansas City and got a win. So, he had 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. So I think any head coach would take that. So I'm going to go with Buffalo now, and I think we see the old Dak in that game.
I'm going to go with Dallas here, and I think that it's going to be a high-scoring game regardless. I think that if Buffalo has a chance, they're going to have to be in the 30s, and I just don't think that's possible for Josh Allen with that defense right now. I think Micah Parsons is going to have his number, and that defense has just looked like they've been holding enough in the secondary to stop the first and second option, which is when Micah comes in. So I hope that CeeDee Lamb has a big game because I have him in a lot of playoff fantasy stuff. But also I think that Dak has a big game, and that offensive line looks like they just keep getting better and better. So yeah, I took Dallas there.
I'm going to agree with Sean and go with Buffalo, the home team here. I did just double check. It's 48 and partly cloudy Sunday, so I don't really. Hopefully,
it's not terrible.
Yeah, weather shouldn't really be a factor there. But I really think that Buffalo, they're going to have a lot of confidence coming off of that game with the Chiefs, and I think that they're going to probably win out and get into the playoffs. That's my prediction. I think this is their time to shine. It could be their year.
Back.
It could be their year to make a run in the AFC, maybe get to back to the AFC Championship, because the conference in general is not that. It's kind of just up in the air, really. So you really don't know. I think it's a year that somebody could beat Kansas City, so I think Buffalo might be that team. I think
they'll have to be on the road pretty much.
Yeah, I think they will win. Like Tommy said, I think it's gonna be high scoring. It could be. I think one of the teams could come close to 40. Yeah, I mean that's just
great.
Could be 38, 35, something like that. But I think Buffalo will win at the end is my prediction on that one. Yeah. And then we're going on to the final game of the week here.
Final game, we got Tampa at Green Bay, a battle of 6 and 7 teams. Jordan Love really took a shit for me yesterday and just didn't perform. He missed 2 crucial touchdowns in the end zone, which is why he lost to DeVito and the Giants. How the hell do you lose to them? I don't know, but Jordan Love and the Packers found a way. Go Pack, go. Yeah, you just lost. But I'm going to go Green Bay just because Baker Mayfield is pretty much muff cabbage. I trust Jordan Love over Mayfield. So I'm going to go with Green Bay at home over Baker Mayfield. They can find a way to do more commercials because it sucks.
Well, I did take the Buccaneers here, but I don't think that has anything to do with Baker. I think Rachaad White comes out and has a big game against the Green Bay's defense just because they're not as good against the run as they are the pass. I think that ends up being a low-scoring game, especially after this last week with Green Bay just kind of Jordan Love seems to just keep digressing. He has 2 good weeks and then he has 3 bad weeks.
He was unstoppable against the Chiefs, and then last night he couldn't do jack squat.
Yeah, I want to say he's an upper echelon because he's almost like Trey Lance. You want to say he's physically or totally capable, and then he just goes out there and just makes these weird decisions to throw into double coverage. And
he's like bipolar on the field.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Like you don't know what you're getting.
But I ended up taking the Buccaneers here. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I think that Rachaad White has a big one.
All right, so for my final pick, I took the Packers. Again, another one of my reasonings is a lot of times depending on where it's at. So this is in Green Bay. I think that the young receivers on the Packers might get it together with Reed and Wicks. The last few weeks they've been kind of stepping up for them. I think this might be a game where they kind of one of those 2 guys is going to have 100 yards. I think they're going to break through and have a 100-yard game. I just don't trust the Tampa Bay. But like I was saying earlier, I think this is essentially an elimination game for one of these 2 teams. They're both 6 and 7. It's hard to pick. They've both been up and down. One week they look pretty good. The next week they look like
both teams,
bottom of the barrel. So
you just don't know what you're
I'm just gonna give the Packers a slight edge for the reasons that I mentioned with the young receivers stepping up, and I think it's gonna be maybe a field goal game at the end or something like that. Carlson kicking a game-winning field goal. So
yeah, could happen.
That's just what I think on that. So that's gonna wrap up the pick segment.
Yep.
Guys, before we leave here, I just want to mention again next week, exactly 1 day from today on the 19th, we'll have a giveaway stream and whatnot from 2 to 4. Make sure you bookmark that show now, and also bookmark all of our other shows, and so you can check out some great breaks and follow us as a seller on eBay and keep up to date with the breaks on that. And if you're not following us on any of the other socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, make sure you drop a follow on all those socials. And before we step out here, I'll see if there's any closing remarks from the other fellas.
I got one thing. How about that contract for Ohtani?
No, yeah,
really.
Exactly.
And then the fact that he defers $680 million.
Yeah, that's
to the end of the deal.
Yeah. So what is that? He gets $2 million a year.
He gets $2 million a year, then
And
$680 after his 10-year deal is up.
Right.
So
basically, they were
what if
saying
they update the contract in between now and then.
that I'm not sure.
I don't know,
But
that's
they were saying that
crazy.
they it's one of the smartest deals ever because he can avoid paying California state taxes for the next 10 years because they're so insanely high. So basically, if he moves to, like, say, Florida after he's done, he won't pay a lick in state taxes on another than $680 million.
That is insane.
So I was also reading it said that he's estimated to earn up close to $50 million a year off the field in the next 10 years from endorsements and everything. So that's probably another reason why he was able to do it. So all in all, that's about
by the time he's 40,
billion.
there's $680 million waiting for you.
Yeah, so
yeah, it's insane. But I mean, it helps the Dodgers now too.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
because they
can
kick
keep
the
paying.
can down the road, they can bring in other free agents.
Right. So they should be
And-
good for the next 10 years, and then after that, they'll suck for 20. No,
Yeah, I mean the
I
Dodgers are what plus 550
But
now.
if
in
we're
the
being
futures?
real, like it's just to afford their current payroll as
Oh,
well.
as well.
Their payroll's huge.
Yep.
Jump
and
on the
Mookie
Dodgers.
Betts is kicking himself in the ass right now after that.
Yeah,
Put like
yeah.
$100 on Dodgers, win the World Series, plus 550 right now.
No, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, hey,
So
that's all I got. What about you?
Ravens are in first place in the AFC.
Yes, they are.
That's
Definitely are.
exciting.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exciting.
it's good
And,
for this area.
And the only thing else I'll say is I already mentioned it, but if anybody pulls one of them Brady autos out of Bowman, definitely tag us and let us know on
Oh hell yeah!
on all the socials.
Please.
We'd love to see that, guys. So looking for that 500K bounty card, the 12 out of 50. So,
Indeed, that's sick.
yep. All right, guys, take it easy, brothers
All right, take care.
and ladies.